Okay. What grade is Amaya in?
She's in fourth grade.
And what school does she go to?
Woodbury Elementary.
Why does she go to Woodbury Elementary instead of in St. Paul Park?
Well, really because I planned on moving here and it was easier for her to take the bus here.
Okay. Do you think her school has a sense of community?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, are you close with her teacher? Do you?
I think that her teacher communicates a lot better than at her old school. I mean, she communicates if I mean every day. I mean, Amaya at Woodbury now is responsible for making sure she gets her agenda signed every day versus like last year when she was at Little Canada. There was no communication at all. Really.
So does Amaya like going to school?
Yeah, she loves school
Now, does she? What do you think? Why do you think she loves school?
because she gets to hang out with kids,
She likes the sense of community.
hanging out with the kids.
Has she ever had any problems because she's mixed?
Yeah, at Little Canada last year there was a black girl that kept making fun of her.
Really?
Yeah, telling her that she wasn't pretty, her hair was ugly, that she when she met me, she was like, "How is that your mom? She's white."
Really? So never from white people, but from black people.
There was a little girl too, a white girl that was on her basketball team last year, that kind of looked, and she was like, "That's your mom," and you could tell she was like, "Wait, what?" She was
Really?
like confused.
What are areas where you feel like teachers or school staff and could support your child or family better?
Um, I mean, I think that for her personally, I think that she's like hyperactive and she needs, so first grade, second grade, third grade. Okay, first and second grade, she was in this reading program that I was told was for children who are above grade reading level. And it's to keep them going forward so they don't basically kind of get stuck at grade level. They keep moving forward. And then in third grade, I was told the opposite. I was told that this reading program was for kids who weren't at reading level, even though I knew she was because she could read full sentences before kindergarten.
Right.
So, I mean, I think that there wasn't a good communication there. And when I tried to like look into it more, they didn't.
Explain it well
Yeah,
enough.
they didn't explain it. And then I feel like they kind of covered up what they initially said. And now that she's at the school she's at now, she's like in a reading program, but she was getting so bored where like she'd get done with her math early and then she'd start screwing around. Well, now she's behind in math this year.
Right.
So last year when she was, ahead, I think she didn't get pushed hard enough to keep moving forward, and then she just started screwing off.
Right.
And then she'd get in trouble for talking and stuff.
Do you think the curriculum at this school is a little better than than Little Canada?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
It's more rigorous. It's more.
Yeah, and I mean like this year she has to do a STEM project every month.
Wow.
Yeah, where at that school last year there wasn't any of that.
What challenges have you experienced with school staff or teachers?
I mean, I would just I guess go back to the whole reading thing. I was told one thing, for 2 years in a row, first and second grade, and then third grade. I think her teacher is a new young teacher. She was really unorganized, and I think that she had her hands full. She had that girl that kept making fun of Amaya,
Yeah.
and then she had a couple boys that had some special needs in her class too that were getting pulled out. So I think it affected her in the sense of her dropping back behind instead of getting pushed forward. I think I think she declined in reading and math.
Okay. What changes would you make to school staff to ensure that Amaya gets the highest level of success and support for her long-term goals?
I mean, ideally, I'd like her to be. I mean, if I could have her broken up into smaller groups. But I mean, the public school system is hard to do that with.
Yeah.
And I think that being able to tend to kids' individual needs is huge because when you have 26, 30 kids, everybody's a little bit different,
Right.
and I think they learn differently. Not everybody learns the same. Some are visual, some are hands-on. So I think when you're doing one thing, one way and you expect every kid to catch on the same way, I don't think it works. I don't think it's successful.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the first things we learned in classroom management about how people learn differently. And what we need to do as teachers is use two or three of those different learning, the way people learn, and that's the way we have to teach. Say if someone is visual, make sure you put something visual into that lesson. If people are hands-on, put something hands-on into it. And I forget how many there was, but you try to get 3 in each lesson and vary them so everybody gets something on how they learn.
Right.
What advice would you give to a young teacher or a future teacher about working with students and making them and their families feel included?
I think it's really important just to kind of, I mean, I know they're busy doing things, but I take a second to kind of really know how they are. Like, maybe I remember when I was in high school, I had a teacher, Miss Leiden. Like the first day of school, she gave everybody her phone number. And it was like, I think she lost somebody to drinking and driving. But she also did like a 5-question survey. She asked you 5 questions that she kept, like in a folder for everybody, like personal things, like what's your hardest thing? What's something you wouldn't typically tell a teacher, just to kind of get to know them on a level of maybe understanding, just
Yeah.
to kind of understand your students.
So what you're trying to say is a teacher should know the person.
Yeah, know the person versus just them being another student that comes in and out of their class.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, because like you gotta love your kids. You know what I mean? Because when you're fake, they see through that.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Well, and I think that for the student, when you feel like you connect with a teacher, I think it's enjoyable for them. You look forward to going to their class and you want to be there. So I think it's more effective, for you to learn as a student. I think that makes a huge difference rather than just going and doing the same thing like you would in your next class.
Yeah. All right, that's it.